Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25 with the Rude Man. Get situated here. Give myself a controller. All righty. Well, let's get some farming going. Okay. No chat. Why is there no chat? There it is. Because nobody's chatted yet. That might help. Okay. And now there's no game. Where's my game? There. Okay. I'm having a heck of a time here. All right, let's see. What do we got? Well, that's friggin' noisy. Oh, I got my blue lights on. Alexa, lights white. Yeah, brighten it up a little. There it went. All right, so we got Hamish is planting corn, and good old Frank is planting sorghum. So we got those two things going. This truck really looks like it's low to the ground. I don't know how I could drive over anything. Hi, Andy. Everyone will be playing the new DLC. What new DLC? Is that why I couldn't get on today? I couldn't get on the game today. I wasn't going to live stream because I just happened to get on. I started about 3 hours ago, and I couldn't get logged in. It just kept looking for update something. I don't know what the hell it was doing, and it never did go. And so I thought, well, I can't even log in the game, so I guess I'll not do a live stream today. And then at the last minute, it started downloading. And I had to cancel the update because there's no way I'd have time. Remember, I'm not on Steam. I have to get it from Giant. Giant only has one server that I know of. So I had to stop any update that it found and just go into the old game. And so I finally got in about 2 seconds ago. Highland farming game. What's that? I don't know what that is. Is that Farm Sim? mess. Look at that piece of equipment. It's just a friggin' mess.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Hey, Scorp, Jeremy. From the office, hey? How was your birthday? A nothing birthday. Probably the best kind, eh? Larry's here. Tecmo Technician. Hello, how are you? This daylight savings time got me so messed up. I hate when they change the time. It just messes me up royal.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, Lori. Tecmo, how you doing? Still growing. Grass still growing. No sugar beets. Sugar beets are empty. Did I not just do sugar beets? I bet I just didn't put them in here. Uh-oh. I'm in the wrong mood. Wrong speed here. How was my working weekend? It was okay. Got a lot of videos done. Recorded anyway. They're not all done. I have to edit and do some stuff. And then daylight savings time rolled around. Now I'm just messed up. I'm just completely messed up. I haven't slept for 3 days. I was up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 nights in a row. Just couldn't sleep. No sugar beets in here either. Didn't I just do sugar beets? These are parsnips. I swear I just did sugar beets. Yeah, anyway, the weekend was okay, but then we got the time messed up on Sunday night, or Saturday night. That kind of messed me up. But I'm recording videos of games that are not going to go up on YouTube for, I don't know. I have no schedule for them. So I'm recording 2 or 3 different games, and none of it's going on YouTube except for Final Fantasy right now. Read a book and farmed, huh? And Andy's talking about some kind of DLC, but I don't know what it is. Well, I think one of the reasons why it messes me up so bad is because I do everything on a schedule. If it's noon, I have lunch. If it's 6 o'clock, I have dinner. If it's 10 o'clock, I go to bed. If it's 6 o'clock, I get up. It's just I do everything on a schedule. It's the easiest way I can take care of my health, because I'm supposed to eat right, and I'm supposed to eat regular, and I'm supposed to have regular portions, and all of that stuff requires that I know what time I need to eat, or what time I need to drink, or what time I need to exercise. If I don't keep a schedule like that, life leaves me behind, and I don't do what I'm supposed to do. Parsnips look like miniature sugar beets or something. Hey, Rap's in the house. Yellow cake with chocolate. That's usually what we have. I don't like chocolate cake, so most of the kids on their birthday, they do a chocolate cake. But I don't like chocolate cakes. We do a yellow cake with a milk chocolate frosting, because I don't like dark chocolate either. I don't know. Yeah, Rap, everything's going good so far. Hey, Matt, how you doing? I didn't see Matt come in. No, that was weird. It looked like I had a full truckload, and then all of a sudden, boom, it was gone. The trailer just flashed me. I'm blind. this thing's a mess. It looks more than just dirty. Peanut butter pie and cookies. Peanut butter cookies. What are you doing, Grandpa? Get off that thing. I don't like this chrome business. So loud. Whoa, what'd you do? Oh no, I just fired somebody. I just fired Hamish. It was an accident. Andy, it was an accident. Let's see, I was going to take this stuff to be canned, I think. Let's get out of here. A desert party at Lori's house. Peanut buttered out. Whoa, whoa. What happened? Tried to drive off the bridge. Okay, I don't remember. I think, oh, it's right there. Okay. The The soup factory's right here. Zup, zup, zup. All right, soup factory. That would be parsnip soup. Parsnip soup. Productivity will set to 300. And activate. Now, was there carrot soup? There was, wasn't there? Carrot soup. Parsnip, carrot. Yeah, there's carrot soup. And we did carrots as well. Yeah, Vermont this time of year before it gets too cold. Scorpion, he found his way back to the rice field. I don't know what it is. Is it this game? Is there another DLC or something? Parsnips and mashed potatoes. Why don't you just put potatoes in mashed potatoes? I don't think I've ever had a parsnip before. I have no idea what it is. Is it like a carrot or something? Well, Frank's still doing sorghum. You gotta love Giant. They wait till we've had a mod to do something for 2-3 years and then they put it in the game. And basically they just take the mod that whoever made and put it in the game. That's loud. Well, that explains why I couldn't log in. I tried to log in the game all morning and couldn't get logged in. I didn't know there was a DLC. I don't pay attention to their DLCs because they're usually nothing. You get a new map that nobody really wants to play, equipment that we just don't use. Crops that we've already got. How long have we had potatoes? Dump trucks in the road. Wow, we got almost 2 million carrots. Cool. Onions. Oh. That means there's hedges on all the fields and little tiny roads that you can't ice skate on or roller skate on. Yeah, the British maps are pretty, but they're not playable for a Texan. No, not that I'm a Texan. Ramming speed. I wonder, I think that factory's pretty good size. I think it holds quite a bit of crop. We'll see. Tiny farmyards. Well, that's the problem. If you like using big equipment, you're not going to be able to. Their farms and fields are so tiny. Teeny tiny, tiny teeny. He downloaded the DLC for this game, I think is what he's talking about. I didn't even know they had one. I was busy, but I'm getting voices from Gaming Past trying to get me back into Elite Dangerous. There's a new Distant Worlds trip. That's a trip that we took. I was in Distant Worlds 1. There's a Distant World 2 that we did a few years ago. And you just travel all over the galaxy on a trip with about 2,000 other people. and they give you each leg of the trip, and then you meet up on a certain planet, party your butt off, and then get up and take off again. It'll take weeks to do, longer for me. I pulled my ship out last night, and I pulled my controllers out, my flight controls. I use a different set of flight controls than I do for flight sim. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I've got 6 set up of HOTASes for flight sims and space games. I pulled out one of the old ones to do. I didn't want to pull the big one out because it takes up too much space on my desktop, and then I can't play other games very well. So I pulled one of the old ones out that's a little bit smaller. Doesn't have as many buttons, and I couldn't remember how to fly my ship. Absolutely could not remember. And they've added quite a bit to the game. There's new stuff in the game I've never done. I don't even know where to go to do it. So it's going to be interesting if I get set up at all to do this. I'm only taking one ship though. Last time I did, I took 3 or 4 ships. Oh no. Am I going to beat the train? I don't think so. I think I can sneak past the barrier. There's a second train. Boom! That'd been funny. There's a reason why they call it flying at the seat of your pants. So flying by the seat of your pants. However the saying goes. Up. Oh man, I'm tired. I had to take a sleeping potion last night to get some sleep. I haven't had any sleep in 3 days. Farmers Dynasty updated. Why are they updating it when they got a new one coming out? Huh. Chili chips. Huh. Is this showing me what I've got total or just this one? Interesting. Says I got barley of 636, 320. Where am I? Whoa. They must be separate because there's 265 in this one. Huh. Interesting. Why did I put that so far off the ground? I can't see it and my neck's hurting trying to look up. Total mixed rations. Keep forgetting I've got this thing. What was I just driving? That. All right, let's go back into soups, I guess. Soup Factory. Carrots. 300%. And then activate. Now, there was a triple one. It took... carrots, parsnips, and red beets. I can't remember if I have red beets, though. And I probably used up all my goodies anyway. Oh my God, I already had red beets in there. Oh, I could have made... What happened to the parsnips? Is that all I have? Oh, shoot. Oh, dear. Oh, Lord. I don't know. I guess I could just make this red beet soup. That sounds awful. And potato soup. Potato soup is good, though. I like potato soup. Oh, I'm just exhausted. I still have parsnips and carrots, so I can make that 3-bean soup or whatever. Okay. Where is it? Triple soup. Activate. Okay, and then I need to bring some more. We got lots of carrots and lots of red beets, but not very many parsnips. And no potatoes. I got a few potatoes. I was using them for the chips, wasn't I? So, how sick is your pooch? That's the biggest thing I worry about or worried about with animals was letting them out because there's so many people out there that, you know, throwing poison out in your yard and doing evil stuff. So wrap that Elite Dangerous. I haven't actually played it in several years. I played it a lot. I was one of the founding members of the game. They had when it first started, it was kind of like that Citizens game. I can't remember the name of it either. I donated quite a bit of money to both those games, and so I was one of the founding people. They call us founders. When the game finally came out, we got special privileges and access to certain place that nobody else has access to. Star Citizen is the other one I was trying to think of. I just flat donated money to Star Citizen, never really got anything. I think I bought one of the ships, and it never came to me as a full-blown game, so I've never played it. I was a little disappointed because I'm talking several $100s. And but with Elite Dangerous, yeah, I was a beta tester and donated money. All right, what was I gonna do here? Potato soup? I might have to grow some more potatoes. Yeah, Star Citizen. Well, there goes Scorp. Our cat just started feeling better. Maybe there's something going around. Last week, our cat, for about 3 days, stopped eating and drinking. And just she never got up, but she's back to normal now. Just over the weekend. I don't know what that was all about. Right, so let's go back to the soup. We got potatoes in there now. Make some tater soup. And then we need more parsnips. I'm going to fly back to the farm. What do you mean by wipes, Trap? Yeah, Carol has to protect her plants, her house plants. The cat has decided that they're fair game to poop and shit and piss in. And so I kept telling the kids, clean her bathroom out. Well, we put clean stuff in it. You need to clean out the old stuff once in a while. You can't just add new stuff. And she's drinking out of the toilet again. So I was looking into that, and the watering thing I have is an automatic watering thing. It's like a fountain. Cats don't like to drink still water. They like water that's dripping. And so this fountain, it comes up and it has 4, spouts on it, and it drips water down, and they just get up there and get their water. The problem was she loved it, but it's a plastic, and it gets black mold on it. Now, I did buy a bunch of filters, and there's a charcoal filter and then a regular filter. And I have the kids change that once a week. But I don't know if they've ever really took the thing apart and cleaned it, because I noticed there was some black mold in it, and she stopped drinking. So they say you got to get a stainless steel one. Okay, fine. How much is that going to be? The plastic ones were expensive enough. So I'm going to end up having to spend a few $100s and get a stainless steel one, I guess. I don't like her drinking out of the toilet. Yeah, Lori, that's the problem. Too many people living here and nobody wanting to do house chores. For some reason, Adeline's going to kill me if she hears this. For some reason, Addie does not like flushing the toilet. Every time we go in there, you know that she's beating you in because it isn't flushed, or even the lid down. Now Carol doesn't like the lid down because she's had a passel of kids. She's 75 years old, and when she has to go, she has to go. And if the seat's down and you're halfway down to the seat before you realize it, it makes things a little bit more difficult. So she doesn't like the seat. I don't mean the seat, it's the lid. She doesn't like the lid closed. But Addie just doesn't, for some reason, I don't know if it's laziness. She does her business and walks away, and it's just nasty. We have those antiseptic wipes, and there's a bucket that you step on and the lid pops up. We got one of those close by because these are not ones that that you can flush. Some people probably flush them anyway and then wonder why they have to call a plumber every month. But anyway, we've got these antiseptic wipes to clean the thing and then just dump the thing in the garbage. The thing. What am I doing? Oh, I was going to put this in the soup factory. This is parsnips, isn't it? Not gravel. Oh, they could care less about that. I had a power bill I had to pay in June, I think it was, or July, or it was $1,200 for 1 month. I mean, my house is just full of people. I mean, I got every room in the house has got beds in it. It's just unbelievable. I can't even get them to save electricity. Every one of the rooms that they're in, even if they're not in them, every light is on. Every lamp, every light. Addie's got lights all over her bedrooms. Looks like, I don't know, some kind of booze bar or something. It's so brightly lit. And it doesn't matter whether she's gone to work or gone to wherever all day, she doesn't turn them off. I have to walk through the house 2-3 times a day turning light switches off. And heat, don't tell me about the heat. God. They'll turn the heat up and then just walk out, go to town. Hours later, come back. Heat's all been running. Hot water, every one of them takes a 2-hour shower. I'm in the shower about less than 5 minutes. I just go in, shower, and get out. Do I have any coffee to sell? Scorpion talked me into putting this this coffee bean roaster here. It works in 2 ways. You can dump your beans in it and grind them, and then it will put pallets of your crop, just like everything else around here. Like, see all those pallets there, the chili chips and stuff. Chili popcorn, I guess it is. You can do that with pallets, or you can do it with a dumper dump, a rumpa dump, like right here. Scorpion talked me into putting the rumper dump in. So you just get your coffee beans right here and go sell them. And when you get your beans from over here, this does the same thing. He talked me into doing the same thing on this one. Instead of getting pallets, it puts it into this silo here. Now, I don't know if I like it or not. I like to see my crops. I like to see the pallets all lined up. If you know what I mean. That means I have to store them, though. There was oh, wow. When did that happen? There was an update on this mod a couple days ago. Oh, man, that's scared. Hey, Frank, how you doing? Frank must not be at work today. Oh, did I miss soup du jour? Matt, is that what you're doing? Reminding me? I'm telling you, I'm out of it today. It's just daylight savings time, and I just hate it. It just messes me up so bad. Whoops. Blew that. There we go. All right. Matt's right. I missed soup du jour today. What's going on? Addie came in. They worked an extra shift last night. She came in, and I wanted to have a Baja Blast today. They came in after midnight and took my only 2 I had cold. So I put one in about an hour ago. I hope it's cold enough, because I wanted to have a Baja Blast. Haven't had one for a while. I haven't drank anything. I haven't had a soda in 2-3 days. It's been drinking tea. Ow. My back. At work, just listening. I'm fine. Hope you have a great day. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. We're going to do that, but it's going to be a Baja Blast. A blast from the past. Not quite as cold as normal. Darn daddy. Darn Addy. Did I say darn daddy? I did. I should have had something different, I suppose. What are you doing jumping around? Oh, how did I do that? Oh, no. How did I get into this position? How do you change to first person? I don't know how to do that. I think I accidentally hit a button. And I don't know which one it was. Oh, it's C. Okay. Si, senor. All right, cat time. When is cat time in the city? Hingling, see them ring. I like the peach mango iced tea. Peach iced tea is very good. Yeah, I used to drink. I'm not real big on iced tea, but a lot of times when I go to lunch or dinner, well, not dinner, but lunch, I will drink the iced tea instead of soda. But I'm trying to think. I'm trying to stall. Snapple. I used to drink Snapple peach tea, and then I got one of those boxes that have the little pouches in them, and you pour a glass of water and you pour the Snapple peach tea in there and shake it up and drink it, and it is actually got more peach flavor to it than the regular Snapple that you buy in the bottle. I liked it much better. It was funny because you're just, adding it to your own water. But it was actually sweeter that way, and it's a diet. It's a diet packet that you buy. They were so good. I bought like 3 or 4 big old. They come in a box that has maybe enough for a week. So the little box has about 7 of them or so. I bought 2 cases of that. I still have some out there, and that was a couple years ago. But yeah, they actually tasted more peachy. They had more of a peach flavor than the stuff you actually bought. No Snapple. That's okay. Americans aren't allowed to have haggis. It's illegal in the United States. The haggis has been tagged by the federal government as non-consumable for humans. So it's against the law to eat haggis here. Not suitable for human consumption is what haggis is labeled here. They do have a vegetable one, I think, but I can't remember. I've never seen it. But anyway. Now, people might think that about haggis. I know what it is, and I know what it's made out of. And back in the generation just before mine, it isn't that I haven't had any. I have, but we didn't call it haggis. We just ate that stuff. When you butchered an animal, you just ate everything. You made pickled pig's feet, and you made head cheese. That's the brains. You just ate every part of the animal You didn't waste food, in other words. Well, that's kind of what haggis is in a way. You know, you have all the different parts of a pig and all different, you have steaks and you have T-bones and you've got sirloin and all of that stuff. But then you've got the stomach and the brain and the heart and the liver and all of that stuff. And we used to eat that as well. You didn't waste anything. I hated liver night. All right, I don't know what was that now. This is the coffee I sell, I think. All right, we're gonna run this back to the farm and sell it, I guess. I gotta go check on my fields. I had fields being seeded. I gotta go check on that. Well, Trap, you could be as picky as you want to be, but you'd starve to death because that's all there was to eat. Things were different. There were 13 kids in my family. If you waited to eat, you wouldn't get any. So at dinner time, you ate dinner. If you didn't, it might be all gone before you get in there. And I had, as a result of that, with my own family, I had a saying that I taught the kids from the time they could hear, that they could talk at the dinner table. Take what you want, but eat what you take. So in other words, if you want something, take it. But at the end of the meal, it better all be gone on your plate. Because if you took food that you didn't eat, that meant that somebody else might not get it. So that was the only rule I ever had in my house. Well, I had a couple more, but basically is take what you want, but eat what you take. There'd be no wasted food in my house. And that was because of how I grew up. Oh, this is not where you sell stuff. Because like I said, and I was about halfway up on the age of kids, and we fed the little kids first, and then the older kids would come in and clean up. So if the little kids left food, it didn't go to waste. We had to eat it because that was our food. Same time when it came bath time. If you were lucky enough, you got the early bath. If you wouldn't, we'd fill the bathtub up, and 1, 2, 3 kids would take a bath. We'd check to see how dirty the water was. If it was okay, a fourth one would jump in. Otherwise, we would drain the tub, clean it out, and fill it again. And that was a lot of fun, of course. Hell, when I was butchering animals, when I was castrating animals, the sheep and the pigs, we didn't do any cows because we didn't keep we just had a milk cow. But we had a lot of pigs and a lot of sheep, and so like I said, I would castrate them, and I would keep a 5-gallon bucket out in the corral where we did our work, and we'd take their testicles and you turn them inside out, throw them in the bucket, and the bucket was full of salt water, and so we'd soak them in what we'd call a brine, and then we'd take them in the house, fry them up, and have them for breakfast or dinner. Rocky Mountain oysters, they called them. I don't know what they call them now, if they call them anything at all. I don't even know if anybody does that anymore. What do we got here? Corn is growing. Okay, let's grab that. Okay. It's cooling down here, so I took my air conditioner out, and I've told you we don't have air conditioning in the house. I had to go out and buy one of those portable ones that sticks out the window. I mean, it doesn't stick out the window. It's a heat pump. It's inside the house, but there's a hose from it that goes out the window, and it replaces the hot air for the cold air. That's why they call them a heat pump, I guess. The air that's in the house goes through the machine and comes out the back from a hose about this big around, and that goes up and out the window, and then you seal the window around that. So, and that hose is hot to the touch because it's collecting the air, it's making it cool and taking the heat and pumping it out of the house. That's why they call it a heat pump. But anyway, I've got one of those for this room because with all these computers and monitors, I got a 55-inch up here, a 32 here, a 27 and a 27 and another 27, 2 computers and a laptop and a tablet sitting here. And it's at any one time, it's all running at the same time. Even the monitors put out quite a bit of heat. So I don't need heat in this room in the wintertime. I still need to have a window open to get fresh air. The only problem is across the street is the grade school, and on this side of the grade school, kind of just to the right of my window, is a daycare. It's connected to the school. So there's kids out there screaming and yelling all the time. And it isn't necessarily distracting. I don't dislike it. There's a lot of people say, "God, I wish they'd take the grade school, or not the grade school, the child care someplace else because it's so their kids are so loud." I have mixed feelings about that because every time that I say, "Oh my God, that scream is just driving me crazy," I at the same time think, well, it's still a sign of life out there. I don't have little kids anymore. And to me, it's kind of a comfort to hear life outside the house. I don't know if that makes any sense. Our house is pretty well buttoned up most of the time. We don't, in the front of the house, there's no windows to see outside except for 2 bedrooms have windows. One of the bedrooms I turned into my studio, and there's a window there, but it's always closed, and I have blackout curtains because I do everything in the dark. All the work I do is with all the lights out, except for, of course, these lights. And oh, don't do that. No, don't do that. No, stop it. I have to change. What am I doing? This was corn. Oh, did I not? Oh, did I do that again? I hate when I hit that button. I got to fix that. Anyway, if that makes any sense to you, I find a comfort with the windows open. If I close the windows, you can't hear anything. This house is so well insulated that a jet plane could go by and I don't hear it. So, but when I've got the windows open, that's when we hear the kids screaming and stuff. I'm hearing it right now a little bit. But I take comfort in it, though, because it's reminded me that there's life all around us. And don't let it pass you by. My kids are all... Scorpion just had a birthday. He's never told me how old he is, but I had a pretty good guess, and I was right. He could easily be one of my kids. Easily. So it's been a while since I've had, well, I've got grandkids now, but and they do live with me. Somebody has to take care of them. But yeah, it's just refreshing. So I think about that all the time. In the summer when there's no school, is that good times? Yes, it is. We look forward to the summers because it's not quite as busy. But we're a small town. Small towns do a lot of things in their schools, even if there's no school. All summer long, there's something going on at the school. All summer long, because there's a basketball court, there's a volleyball court, there's sports, there's the community needs some place to meet if they're traveling in groups and stuff, and there's always something going on at the school, even in the summertime. But not all the screaming and yelling is quite as busy. Oh shoot! I did it again. I'm not doing corn. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do barley on this big field because it's a big field. On the smaller fields, I'll do the potatoes and the sugar beets and stuff. I just can't get with it today. How bad has the crime raised lately? Well, we don't notice it so much on the coast here, but I can't tell you how terrible Portland is. Portland's just god awful. I'm afraid to go into Portland. You have to remember, Oregon is one of, or the only one, that is completely wide open for drugs. We legalized marijuana quite a few years ago, and then they legalized everything else. You can actually do heroin in Oregon legally. And so guess what that did? It opened up the state for all these people to move in. And with them comes the crime. Now, I'm just thankful that our doctors, both my heart doctor and my diabetes doctor, they're in hospitals that are right on the highway. You don't have to go into town. You just drive towards town, and hospitals are on the outskirts of downtown. They do some crazy stuff. Our schools here in Oregon, to graduate from an Oregon high school, all you have to do is put the time in. Literally, if a kid goes to school in Oregon and never learns to read or write, they still graduate. It's like being a Marine. You never leave a fallen soldier in the field. Everybody gets brought home. It's the same thing. You put your 12 years in, here's your diploma, whether you earned it or not. Whether you can read, doesn't matter. You put the time in, you get the diploma. Yeah, you're exactly right, Rap. You're well informed. I was just going to mention that because just recently I was in a conversation with somebody about it, and they asked how is Portland doing with all their open laws and stuff, and I said not good. I said you can actually compare it to other countries that have done it, and they did it differently. Portugal kind of cleaned up. But, no, I don't know. It is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. See, the thing of it is, if you look at let's take drugs for example. Doesn't matter which one you're talking about. There are drugs that are coming over the border. Everybody knows this, from other countries, and it's a terrible, terrible thing. We have our citizens dying of overdoses all the time. They're homeless. You know, they can't hold jobs. They're sick. All of this terrible, terrible stuff that comes with drug addiction. And nobody cares to stop that. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about the drugs coming in. We're trying to stop that. If we stop people from using them, there would be nobody to sell to and no reason to make drugs and bring it into your country. But nobody does anything. They don't try to stop the people, and they don't try to help them. They're dying in the streets, and people are walking around them. In Washington, D.C., the senators and stuff have to be hauled in and walked into the Capitol and stuff because there's people passed out on the sidewalks. You have to step over to get to them, to get through them. It's terrible. Yeah, Trap, that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly. We don't do anything for the druggies. You know what Oregon's thing is? Free clean needles. They give them away. That you can get. I'm diabetic. It used to be I had to have a prescription to get a needle to take my insulin. Not anymore. Anybody can walk into any pharmacy and get free clean needles. If they're a drug user, not if they're a citizen that's paying for insulin. Oh, not me. I have to pay for my stuff. But if you're a drug user, you get it for free. And that doesn't help anybody. It's wintertime. What do you get? Oh, well, we're gonna get everybody a free blanket. They were giving out free grocery cards to the homeless, so they'd have some place to pack their stuff. That doesn't help them. Well, I mean, it kind of does, but I mean, not in any meaningful way. It doesn't stop them. It doesn't help them with their health, with their food, their medicine. None of that. It doesn't help anybody. You don't want to be in Oregon. You don't want to be a kid that loves to go down to the local park and swing, and go down a slide and play on a jungle gym. Those have all been taken over, and you wouldn't want your kids to get even close to anything like that. Did my other guy finish his field? Let's go take a look. Oh no, Scorpion's just sitting here patiently waiting. Yeah, for some reason, they don't understand. Our politicians are so out of touch. They think they've got the pulse on the country. They don't. They have no idea. They have absolutely no idea. And so they think that we just need to keep pumping money into the homeless. We need to just keep pumping money in them. That's not going to get them a job. That's not going to fix the problem that they have, that they can't get a job. They keep thinking that they're just down on their luck within the last couple of weeks, and if we give them a ton of money, they'll get clean clothes and a shower and get a job. No, they've got so many problems, mentally, physically, that no amount of money is going to fix. It's got to be something else. First thing is they got to get them off the drugs. They have to stop it. And trying to stop it coming in isn't going to work. They need to stop whatever's going on that's actually here. Yeah, it's an age-old problem. I mean, there's stuff like this been going on for a long time. But and people don't learn. They don't learn. We're a young country. We're only a couple hundred years old. 250. And look how fast we grew. We haven't had time to learn. All right, so I did that one. What's going on over here? Corn is growing. Is this the one that's being done right now? Okay, corn. No, that's the one. What? Okay, so corn here, and the other one was sorghum. Okay, I got it. That's loud. If we don't get that small field on the end there, put something on it. Yeah, it's kind of, our country's a little bit like a typical family where one generation struggled just to survive. The next generation was able to build something from nothing. The next generation is the generation that inherited the stuff that the second generation accumulated, and they don't know how to work, and they don't know how to build. They were given too much. They didn't learn what it took to earn it or protect it. Think about the world wars that we had. Can you imagine our kids right now having to go to a war? I can't imagine. They're not ready. They're not even ready to walk across the street. I don't really have a need for soybeans. How big is this field? This is a pretty good sized field. Let's do, we'll do sugar beets here again. Don't run over me. Dang. He just ran right over the top of me. Turn that super strength off. Don't run over me again. Okay, so this one's not too bad a size field. I think I'll do potatoes on that one. Or no, we did potatoes on this. Or sugar beets. Sugar beets. We'll do potatoes over here. Um, and then we'll do potatoes here, and then more sugar beets on that one right there. That'll give me plenty of sugar beets and potatoes. And then we have parsley here, corn here, and sorghum there. And that'll leave this little bitty one over here for whatever else, carrots or potatoes or onions. Well, we're making onions in the greenhouse. So we'll do parsnips or something crazy over here, something different. And then we have rice. We got this one right here. What is this? Oh, we got sugar beets here too. Oh, goodness gracious. And the rice is finally almost done. Is this the second cutting of rice that we had? Well, take my generation. I had my first home before I was 20 years old. I bought my first home. When I was 20, I moved into my own house. I had an apartment before that. And I've had many houses since then. My kids are not ever close to being able to get a house unless I give them mine when I die, which is what I was going to do. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to sell my house and everything I owned and split it between the kids when I'm gone. They came to me and begged me not to do that. I said, well, what do you think I should do? I was trying to make it fair so that they weren't fighting over stuff. You know, that it's all turned into cash and you got your share. But no, they said, Dad, if you don't leave us your house, we will never have a house, and any of us. So that's what they want me to do. And I said, do you know how tough that's going to be with you guys trying to own the house? You know, one of you is going to fight with the other one because they want the big room, and oh God, I don't know what they're going to do. If I had it to do over again, about 20, 30 years ago, I'd have sold the house in the city, well, in the town that we live in, buy some acreage, like maybe 20 acres, and then we could just split the acreage up. So you can build a house in that corner, you build a house in that corner, you build a house in that corner. The grandkids want a place to stay, they can have the other corner. Each of you take 5 acres and you know, put some trees in between your houses so you don't have to look at each other. You'll be fine. Hey Nate, how you doing? I did that with all my houses. I bought a house. One of our, you see, it was not my first one. My first one, I had a house and two lots, and so I was able to talk a contractor into putting a house on one and buying both of them. And then our second house, we didn't do too much with. We were only there for about a year or so. The third house was when we had our first child, and it had a 1-bedroom. And so I quickly, you know, I grew up around construction, so I'm pretty handy. And I was able to build 2 more rooms in that house, 2 more bedrooms, a second bathroom in the basement. The basement was completely empty, so I remodeled it. I put 2 rooms down there, plus a family room, and a bathroom, and a little sewing room for Carol in the basement. So by the time we had our second child, we had a 3-bedroom house. But the first child was in our room with us, so it was Carol and I. We were in one room. That's all we had. And so that I got a pretty good penny when I sold that one. We were there 3-4 years, something like that, and I bought a 1-bedroom house and sold a 3-bedroom house. Then I did that again and again, and by the time I retired, we got a $600,000-$700,000 home. Houses are kind of a funny thing. It's the biggest asset you're ever going to have, unless you're a businessman or something. But if you're just a workaday person, just a normal living by paycheck to paycheck person, the biggest asset you're going to have is your house. And nowadays, it's also your car. I can't believe cars are so damn expensive. I bought my first house for a couple $1,000s. Now you can't buy a car for that, unless it's used 20 years. So it's your biggest asset. Problem is, it's worthless to you as far as an asset, because the only way you're going to make money on it is if you sell it, or if you die and somebody else takes it over, and sells it, like one of your kids. So by owning a house is a big asset, but it's not really, it's not really worth anything to you. If you consider that you have a house and you own it, which most people don't, they're paying on it. So your house payment is at least as much as rent on a house. So basically, you're renting your own house. The only difference is it's got some value when you sell it. A lot of people they'll work until retirement age, and they'll build up a house like I did. Sell a house, buy a bigger one. Sell a house, buy a bigger one. Sell a house, buy a bigger one. My first house was a couple $1,000s. My last house is over about $750,000. Again, it's worthless to me unless I sell it. But it is a place to live. But you still have to pay insurance and taxes on it. So you're still going to have a monthly fee on a house that you own, because you still have to pay property taxes and insurance on it. It's not the same as paying $2,000 a month for a house payment. But what a lot of people will do is they'll build up the asset of their house until it's, say, $500,000 on average. And then when you retire, you sell the house, you take that $500,000 and you invest it in some kind of stock, bond, some kind of retirement plan, and take the money off of that to now live on and rent a house. And, because by the time you retire, you've only got 10, 15 years before you're gone, depending on when you retire. I retired a little early. I retired at 60, so. But I knew that I had enough money to do it. I put my own money away. Thing of it is, though, that's not a bad way to do it if you don't have a big family and they're not counting on your money when you die. Sell your house and rent, because you can make quite a bit of money on that, investing it. You can live off it. Live on a caravan site. Not in tornado country. You can be careful if you're in Texas or Arkansas. Yeah, the only problem with that, Rap, is I don't know what the laws are like in other countries, but in America, a mobile home is considered a mobile home. It's not considered a home. So it doesn't increase in value. It decreases in value, like your car does. You buy a car for $30,000 and you keep it 20 years, you're not going to get $30,000 for it. But a house, like I said, a house, the first house we bought, I think we paid, well, my first house, it doesn't count. Our second house, when after we got married, we bought for about, oh God, what was it? $13,000. Sold it for 20 something in just 2 years. A home, and it's not the home. This is the tricky part. When you talk about owning a home, you own property and improvements. They call it improvements. So what are the improvements? The improvements are going to be a house, a garage, maybe a shop. Anything you add to the property are improvements. So when you own a city lot, let's say, it's the land that has the value. The improvements may or may not, but would you compare your car that you bought 20 years ago to what it is today? No, it's got less value. It wears out. A house doesn't do that. A house keeps increasing in value, but it's the property that does. Land. You buy all the land you can because they don't make it anymore. That's the old saying when I was a kid. Buy land because they don't make any more. There's only so much land to go around. So it's valuable. Buy it. That's still true. Buy property. Again, I wish I'd have done that. It would have been easier for my kids because I could have said, look, here's 20 acres. You get whatever. You get 5 acres. You get 5 acres. You get 5 acres, and the grandkids get 5 acres. There you go. Build yourself a little tiny house on it or something. Yeah, that's fine. A lot of people in America do that. They will sell their home and buy. We don't call them caravans, but they would sell their house and buy a motor home or a travel trailer, an RV, and travel the country, live in that. And some of them are very livable now. They're very expensive though. They have what they call tip outs. And I know a guy he's got a big living room kick out, a kitchen, and 2 more. It's got like 4 tilt outs. So your caravan, if that's what you're going to call it, is this big because it has to fit on the road. But they will have tip outs that come out. So your living room, let's say your living room's right here, then you tip it out. Now your living room is twice the size as it is when you're driving down the road. Do the same thing with the kitchen. Do the same thing with the bedroom. Now instead of being, 10 or 12 feet across, whatever the width of the road is, it's double that. And I had a friend of mine had one. Oh my God. I walked in one night when he was out camping. It was like walking into an apartment building. It had a built-in washer and dryer, a fireplace, big screen TV, 2 reclining chairs, a couple couches. It was like walking into an apartment. And all those tilt outs are all automatic. You just push a button, a motor takes them out. There was one guy that had one, even had a back deck on it for barbecue and stuff. It's unbelievable. They're very expensive though. Yeah, they get pretty big. Here's the funny thing. Oh, jeez. I'm getting bombarded by advertisers again. Yeah, you might as well own a home. Those things are expensive. Andy, did you get that guy? Mystical breakaway? Is that what that is? Mystical breakaway. What the hell does that mean? If the prices come down. When has that ever happened? Yeah, I did mine a little bit different. I put actual money away. Oh, that's right. You told me that, Andy. Wisebot kicks him out. I wonder if everybody else on the stream sees that or just us. If Wisebot kicks it before it gets to us. Trap, did you see a chat from a mystical breakaway? Just curious. I don't know how it works. Yeah, I put my own money away, and then we've got our retirement money, that kind of thing. Um, right now, everything's copacetic, but we don't know what the future holds. The only thing, because of my age, at some point, the government comes in and tells you that you have to start taking money out. Carol and I, we sat down and figured out what we made when we were working, and that's what I take out of retirement that I put aside. So we have the same amount of money that we were living on when we were both working, and so the rest is left in there to grow. Then the government comes along when you reach a certain age and says you need to start taking some of that money out because we want to see it in the economy. And so I'm forced to take roughly about besides the stuff I was already taking out to live on, I have to take an extra $700 a month that I don't need out of my retirement, which is kind of a crappy thing, I guess, but in a way it's okay. They want you to spend it. Well, heck with them. I don't care what they want. I take it out and I put it right back in the bank. I don't need it. We have the budget set that we need. We're on a fixed income if you want to call it that, because I know how much it takes us to live, and we're simple people. So when they force me to take more out, what am I going to do with it? So I put it right back in. So if I wanted a new car tomorrow, it's just sitting at the bank. I just go say, give me the money, I'm going to go buy a car. Or if I have a heart attack or something and the hospital bills go up, then, that's what that's for. You never know what life has in store. Okay, Trap. Yeah, that's good. So Wisebot missed it. It's okay. I got him. Oh, really? I don't know how that stuff works. That's what I got Andy and Lori for, and Scorp. You're lucky, buddy. We got a local Costco. Well, my Costco bill's $3,000 or $4,000 a month for stuff. I got my power bill right now, and we've got electric heat. So the power bill right now is about 400 and something a month on average. But it's like I said before, I got a house full of people. Normally, at my age, we would usually be me and my wife, just the two of us. That's what we were looking forward to our whole life. Because when we got married older, we're almost at 50 years married, getting close. Let's see, next year will be 47 years, but we didn't meet till we were in our 30s. So it wasn't like we got out of high school and got married. We were older. And so even when our kids were growing up in school, we were an older couple with kids. And we said, that's okay. As soon as we got married, we started talking about having kids because we were in our 30s. And so we decided we'd start right away because we wanted to have a family. And the thing is, we kept saying it's going to be fine. When the kids get out of school and they move away and start their own families, we'll have time for each other. And we'll have time to go do some of those things we didn't get to do before we got married. Well, it didn't work like that. My kids are still in the house. My oldest daughter and her husband, they live outside the house, and they both have jobs, and they're doing okay. Jeff is still here, but he came home after college and is working locally and didn't really want to live alone. So, so he comes in, stays with us. Is it that time already? Matt says I have to go, I guess. That's probably best. I've been fighting going to sleep this whole thing. So anyway, tomorrow's another day. If we're lucky. All right, everybody. Matt says I got to go. So hope you had fun, even though I was a little boring today. I gave too much on last Thursday. God, I don't know what the hell happened on Thursday. Somebody must have slipped me something. I don't know what it was. I was a little wound up on Thursday. So I will see you guys tomorrow if all goes well. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves. I got to go out and see if I can get this update or this, what did you call it, a DLC? Bills don't get better. Energy efficient is a joke. Oh, no kidding. Yeah, it really is. It really is. And they're starting to do some weird things now. The power companies are closing down dams in the area where we get our electricity, and they're talking about us going into man-made brownouts just to lower the power consumption that people have, that they can afford to have and are willing to spend. People, they're going to try to take our electricity away and force everybody into not using so much. So isn't that going to be fun? So, yeah, have a nice sleep. All right, I'm out here. Thanks, guys. Catch you later. Catch you later, Tater.